psychology. Then I went into the strategic sciences, worked for biotech and pharma, and really went into more of the stuff that has to do with. Do you need me to do anything?
No.
Brayden just walked in. Sorry. really went into more of what do you need to do with. Okay. More of what do you need to do when all of this occurs, right? Because this was just a really big mess. It just was chaos actually everywhere, and so I really have kind of a varied opinion because of my background, because of working for biotech and pharma, because of also working in wellness, because of being a CEO of a healthcare company or numerous healthcare companies. I have a different background. My background is mostly scientific. Many of you guys know I ended up going back to school and really focusing on things that had to do with nanotechnology. And people have asked me before, why did you focus on nanotechnology? Wasn't that where some of the origin was? And my answer is to make things more bioavailable. That's something that can really help people. And then also, one of the reasons that I focused on that is when you have things that are out there that possibly could have been made by another scientist, or you need a solution, you need to understand every aspect of science. So my goal was to understand not just, basic science, but going into nanobiotechnology and bioscience engineering, also going back to Cornell and pharmaceutical and nutrition. I'm telling you guys, it was really important to me because what's happened in our world, it was a crisis, and it's something that we continuously need to look at and need to work with so that we can become even better, as a society. Not only fight what's going on now, but also be able to, in the future, be a better society, have better health care, have better wellness. And through all of that, going back to the emergency use authorization, meaning understanding that your typical safety data with the vaccine is anywhere from 2 to 7 years, and usually 7 years, sometimes out to 14 years, and we did it like this. Of course I was concerned. I actually don't know how you can understand the topic and not be concerned. I do understand things being released, trying to help a mass society and to help a population. But I also understand what can happen when things like that occur, that there are side effects. And the problem with vaccines is we've never done all these massive studies which have looked at the combination of vaccines. So to release something where we really hadn't studied it significantly, it's a concern for any scientist and any doctor. But also, of course, COVID was a concern. And I've been asked a lot as a mother and as a scientist and as a formulator and a person that's very connected to humanity, not just through science, but also through being a mother of 4 children and interacting, what I think about the vaccine. And I have, of course, mixed opinions about it. And so that's by a virus, a bacteria, or whether it was being approached with by anything, parasites, fungus, whether the body was already doing great or whether the body got sick. I wanted something that people could take day to day and really have the support to the body to have a better life. Not making any claims. I never make any claims of any product I work on. And even if I work on a pharmaceutical biotech product, we always have to go after one indication. And even then, our efficacy rate, sometimes it's 48% or 50%. So I can never say 100% of the time anything I work on is going to do a specific thing. What I can say is I've dedicated my world and my life to trying to help in this area. We all help in different ways, and mine is in the science way. And so, it was a very big concern for me when COVID hit. It was a very big concern for me when we had just small amounts of data and released vaccines. I understood, though, the approach. I understood why it happened. But I also think people need to be educated on there are side effects that have occurred with the different vaccines. There are side effects, of course, that happen with COVID, but you need to be aware of all these and make a personal decision. And that's one of the things I wanted to say to you guys today. I always go back to this. I have 4 children. They each have very different opinions. They're each very different individuals. I have a wonderful mother and father that I adore, sister and brother that I adore. We all have so many different opinions. Sometimes we'll disagree so much that we get mad at each other, right? And it's hard because what happens in life, unfortunately, and I'm not sure why this happens, is when someone has a different opinion than you think they're bad, or they're evil, or they're horrible, or they're trying to destroy everything. And I just simply don't look at life that way, because I know we're all made differently. But what I do want to say is you guys really need to make sure that you make your own decision, and that you become very educated, that you don't look at just one you don't just look at one source of things, but instead you look at different sources. And sometimes our media shows us one way, right? Because whether people want to realize this or not, the media is there to persuade, right? There's always money behind the media. When you watch television and the news, there's money behind that, you all. So you're hearing and you're programmed to hear what they're saying. Make sure you look at other sources. I have this amazing group of friends that actually educate me a lot. I have Michelle and Crystal and Mimi and T and all of you guys, Tracy, that help me really look at different things. And then, of course, I do look at the journals from Harvard and Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins and the CDC. But I also look at alternative resources. And because I've traveled to so many places, I see what they have and what they're seeing as well. Do you guys know that when I travel to other countries, they never have the same story on their news that we have on our news? Have you ever thought about the fact that the things that you're seeing and reading, a lot of it is for a specific intention? The reason I'm telling you that is part of wellness, part of health is thinking outside the box. Part of wellness and health is thinking on your own and making your own decisions and becoming educated and not feeling guilty about your decision, and not thinking just because you're not a doctor that you don't understand, because sometimes you see things even more because you're not a doctor and you don't have the science background. And I think I'm in a unique position where I have had the opportunity of, being in classes continuously. That's why I've stayed in school, and also being exposed to things I don't understand and traveling. So I don't just look at, CNN or Fox News. I look all over for the answers. And I have to be honest, I'm one of those people, I feel guilty sometimes because I think some opinions are ignorant, because I think sometimes people look at one side or hear a political viewpoint or hear something that the television's telling them and they believe it right away. I want to encourage you guys to look at every area. Part of a population being successful in life is learning and looking at things in a different way, and not just accepting what mainstream social media or mainstream television looks at you or shows you. And I'm not a radical, I'm a scientist. So for me, I look at all the different sides. So whether you decided to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine, one thing is for sure: you have to clean and detox the body, and you have to supplement the body. And that's what I want to go back to. Health and wellness is yours, but you've got to learn about it. Do you know that there's some great studies coming out now with zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C? Those have been out from the beginning, but there's even more and more literature coming out about how it supports the body in fighting the symptoms of different viruses, bacteria, parasites, and fungus. Also, the products that we worked on at Root, we had to have a detox product that I worked on that really helped significantly with cleaning the body. But then also there are supplements that help with the neural transmission and performance of the brain, and then also with just supporting the entire immune system. And again, when someone tells you they supported the immune system, it doesn't mean that they have continuously been able to fight off something or get rid of something, but it means it's giving the body the tools so it can win. You guys, if you don't give a warrior going to war or a soldier going to war a gun or the tools to fight, how do they fight? You gotta give your body the tools it needs to fight. Love yourself enough, have practiced self-love so that you give yourself those things. So regardless of your political viewpoint, regardless of which side you're on, this war that we've been fighting in health and wellness has gone on since the day you're born. You're here fighting toxins and heavy metals in the environment. We have an old world that compounds that over time. And as the body ages, the cells basically slowly die. So it's really important that you step up and give the body the tools it needs. And I don't just use those tools on the inside of my body. I also use those on the outside of my body. I put Restore on the outside. When I had all this stuff on my face and they were getting ready to do radiation, and they may still have to do it, I was able, though, to put it on and help my skin naturally support itself to get rid of things that were not good and that were causing issues within my body. And that's very, very important. So I hope everyone has a good day. I was pretty scattered today when I started, and I apologize. I have a lot on my mind because I am working on some things that hopefully will help many people in many different areas of the world. We each have to do our small part. I tell my kids this all the time. When you go through Starbucks and you see someone, or you go through McDonald's, or you go get a shake, or you go in anywhere, be nice to everyone you see. It may be the only person that is nice to them that day, because life is hard. And be nice to your body inside. Give the body the things that it needs to support itself. So the Root Brands is a company that has the products that I worked on and that I've helped formulate for people. So I hope you guys get the opportunity to try them. And if you don't, make sure you take other supplements that support your body and wellness. I think, like I said last week, when you're pregnant, you take supplements. And it's one of the first things a doctor gives someone that's pregnant is a prenatal supplement so that they have vitamins while they're pregnant. I don't know why people think that ends. Your body continues to need them and even needs them more and more as they're older. So make sure that you do that for your body. And then when you look at the choice of whether to vaccinate or not vaccinate, look at the different options and make the decision. I have lots of people ask me which vaccination I would use, which one I agree with. And the truth is there's more data that needs to be out there for me. I need to see more results because I need proof as a scientist to know what exists. I think I frustrate people right now because I was just on a text before I even got on the phone, answering some questions, going back and forth, looking at both sides of an issue we were having within the company. And I simply said, I've got to see all issues and I've got to see all the facts before I can make a decision. And that's just my personality. I never judge someone one way or another because why would I? It's their personal choice. It's their personal life. And I have one thing that I know always carries me through. I care about people. I love people. I want people to have the best life possible. That's why I do what I do for a living. That's why I'm here doing what I'm doing right now, talking to you all. I'm actually not great on camera. I don't even know how to do it. Braden has to come in and set it up. And then he probably notices I get frustrated each time because I get embarrassed when I have to get on. But I do have something to say. Because I want to say to you guys, I'm very thankful for all of us on this journey together. I have not been able to bring anyone into the conversation because I have to have Ted or Braden help me. That's how bad I am at being on camera. But we will try to do it next week. And just so you guys know, I see all of you guys from different countries that reach out to me. I said this, I wake up in the morning sometimes with 300, 400 or more WhatsApps from different countries. They don't speak English, a lot of people, so they're not on a lot of the Instagrams and stuff like that, but they are people that are significantly trying to help people in their areas, and I'm very thankful for them, and I'm very thankful for this journey we're on. So we will continue to educate. We will continue to give out information. Again, for me, the fact that I know that a lot of the data takes 2 to 7 to 14 years to get safety data back is a deciding factor for me. I have to make sure I see more information before I personally make a decision. But I also support people's other decisions. And I mean that. I'm not just saying that to be political. I'm saying that because I mean that. Because I think in life, one of the things that we can give ourselves is love of ourselves, but another thing we can give ourselves and others is love for other people. And we don't need to be mad and cause major issues just because someone has a different decision than us. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. I will talk to everyone soon. Thank you.